Hello and welcome. This is the Slugs and Spuds growing plot. I'm filming in the greenhouse today. The sun's in my eyes. It's quite sunny, but it was cold this morning and it's quite windy today, so I thought I'll get out of the wind because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying. If you can tell what I'm saying anyway. I know I've got a bit of a strong accent to some people, but hopefully I try and clean it up a little bit so it's not so thick an accent, so hopefully you can still understand me no matter where you are in the world. So today I want to tell you about, I've done something very silly. On my last vlog I told you about the crystal apple cucumbers not doing very well, so if you can just find those. So yeah, I just had those two left. I had quite a few that I pulled out because they started wilting and going off. These were from seed that I'd sown, that I'd collected myself. When they all germinated, apart from this one, they all had really pale leaves, so I'm thinking the seeds weren't very strong or something, because it can't be anything to do with the compost, or can it? I don't know. This was just general purpose compost that I've used. Never had a problem with it before really. So because I only had two left, and the crystal apple cucumber I absolutely loved it. It tastes really gorgeous. I love all cucumbers, but this one in particular I was really impressed with actually. So because I had loads more seed from me collecting it out of one of the fruits last year, I'm thinking, oh, I bet they're all weak, and some of them looked flat, like they weren't fully developed. When I collected them, I put them on this bit of tissue paper, and some of them were sticking to the tissue paper, so I just thought, oh, do you know what, just wet the whole thing, yeah, because I've still got some of the seed in the packet from the original sowing. But I've been silly because I didn't expect so many to germinate. And that's not the only thing. I haven't got any compost and no way of getting any really until the weekend. So, and to be honest, if the weak seeds are going to turn out like those ones, I don't want to waste the compost, so I'm not sure what to do. I may sow some of them. I may get some to hang on in this towel. Try and salvage some compost out of other pots or something to just get them into a tiny bit of compost. Or I'll give them a chance. If I've nowhere else to put them, I'll give them a chance and put them straight in the floor and cover them with some kind of polythene or something. And I've counted them roughly, and there's about 80 that have germinated. What am I going to do with 80? I could give some away, but I already gave some of the seeds to the other people on the allotment. They may not want any more. So I may actually plant some in the ground here in my back garden and some at the allotment. I'm having a bit of a slow week this week because I've not been too good. I do get that every now and again, so some weeks I'll not be doing very much. It'll be quite a relaxed little jobs week. I did do some market more as well, but I didn't have too many of those left, so there you go, there's a few market more. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 of those. And because I only had, could I say, three left last week when I did the check in the greenhouse, And then as soon as these have sprouted, 3 more have sprouted in the pot with the other one. So my germination this year is really erratic, no matter what it is. Even the tomatoes, I've thought, oh, the seeds are not going to germinate. This is probably 2 months after, nearly, or a month and a half, 2 months after the others have germinated. I've suddenly got more tomatoes popping up. And I didn't sow any more literally with the other plants that germinated and come up. So there's that. And also I did do some more sweet corn when I was at the allotment last week. I thought they would have been alright going from this greenhouse because it's got holes, like glass missing and everything. I thought they would be alright going up to the allotment, but they've suffered a little bit and they might not make it, so I'd sprouted a load more. Again, I've no compost, so I'm going to just go up to the allotment this afternoon and put them straight in the ground. And again, I may cover them with some kind of polythene. I do have spare covers for this up there, so I could use those, I suppose. So yeah, I was silly about the crystal apples. I've done far too much. I don't know what I was thinking. And the good news is, if you saw my first video that I uploaded, and I sowed some they're called living stones lithops, and I said on the video I wasn't impressed because I could only find 2 seeds in the packet. They were really tiny. There's only 6 seeds in the packet in the first place, and I did explain that my hands were dirty, but I didn't have much hope that there were all 6 seeds in this packet. But look, don't know if you can see. I'm just getting that on video. I have indeed got 6 little lithops growing. So to me that's a stroke of luck. So I take back what I said. I said, oh, I had buyer's regret. Now I'm happy. I think it was a bit mean only to put 6 seeds in, but I don't know if they don't produce very often. They don't flower very often or something like that. Maybe that's the reason that they're quite sparse. I'm miserly and skinflinty with them. So the other good news, and I'm really surprised, is that my star jasmine in the pot near where my canopy is, that has actually started to sprout again. So I'm really happy because that was bought actually as a house plant on like a little frame, and I thought I'll put it against a wall so that it keeps more warm and just see how it goes. And it's alive, so that's brilliant. So as you can see with my sweet corn, they're not looking very well at all. Quite a few of them are totally missing. So I'm going to leave the ones that I think will recover standing on their own. The ones that I think have nearly gone, I'm going to put another little sprouted one right by the side of it, and where there's gaps I might put a couple and then just pull out the weakest one. So I think I've got some rogue radishes growing in here as well. If you remember, I said I let some of my radishes flower, and I can only assume that either birds have dropped them over here or they've blown over here. Don't know, but they look like radishes to me. Might get one to compare. I'm going to leave them in there though, they're not going to do any harm. There's only asparagus, young asparagus in this side of the bed, so I might as well let them grow and eat them, haven't I? Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me with all this wind, but this is where I've decided I'll give the crystal apple cucumber a chance. It can be a bit shady here because of the tree. So where I've put the sweet corn, I've just put a pop bottle with the lid not quite fastened on properly upside down into the soil, because it does tend to be quite dry here, and also I just needed something to prop the fleece up away from the plants as well, so I'm going to give that a go anyway. So the water's not going down too fast. I'm hoping it just does like a drip feed. I know you can make little holes, but I've not got anything with me today to do that, so I'll check that back on. I'll check that on Saturday when I come back. This hops rhizome and that one didn't like being transplanted really, but compared to this piece. But it is starting to sprout now, so hopefully it'll catch up. Once they get going, they soon romp away. And the runner beans are just starting to show. That's one little runner bean there. I thought they'd all be up by now, to be honest, because they've been covered with fleece and nice and warm. The cauliflowers are doing great, and the broccoli and the kohlrabi and the turnips, they've actually had a bit of a growth spurt, I think. I'm going to leave the broad beans slightly uncovered. I don't want the pigeons to get them, but you do need pollinators to be able to get in to the flowers to pollinate them apparently. So yeah, I'll just leave it open a little bit, hopefully, because it might look like a trap to the pigeons. Maybe they'll just stay away, hopefully. They just ate everything last year, all my cabbages, everything. And the peas are looking good. They're starting to get a hold of the pea sticks. I did just nip up one day as we were passing and brought these sticks in the bags that I needed to sort the glass out. So they're just getting a hold now. But I did notice, for some reason, here in this bit, these ones are not doing very well. And just behind them, where I'd sown some more, there was a gap. So there's another row there on the back, but here there was a gap where they were missing, so I had a little dig around. There's no signs of the peas at all, so I don't know what's happening, whether they're getting eaten or there's something wrong with this soil in this little patch. The spuds are making a comeback after the hits after those cold nights, so it's not blight after all. They need earthing up really, but I'll have to wait till I've got some compost. One little job I wanted to do today was I brought some lavender cuttings from home because I want a border of lavender so it smells really nice as you're coming onto my plot. I don't know if they'll take, but I'm going to give it a go. Oh, it's windy today. I hate the wind, it really gets on my nerves. It's so destructive. I've lost my thread now. Yeah, so I'm just going to stick these in a pot and trim some leaves off, obviously, and just leave a couple of leaves at the top so that they can make food enough to make some roots. So I was checking through some pots. Sorry, the shed door keeps flinging backwards and forwards. I was checking through some pots that I thought had just dead things in them, to be honest. These pots that I've been looking through, because last year it kept changing from scorching hot to torrential rain, at some point I've put them in my wheelbarrow because they totally dried out and put some water in so that they could soak it up. But then before I've been able to get back up, it did torrential rain, so they ended up sitting in water for weeks and weeks, and by the time I came up everything seemed dead. No signs of life all this time. So I thought I'll reuse the compost that's in those for these cuttings. But as I've been looking through, some of those pots had sown from seed asparagus, and they look like the roots are still healthy. I'm absolutely shocked because I thought asparagus shouldn't be sitting in water, and when I'd seen that they were all dead looking in the wheelbarrow, I kind of just gave up hope on them and just left them, you know. So I'm surprised if it's still alive, if it's those. But if anybody knows, if you could have a little gander at what you think they are. But whatever it is, it looks healthy, you know. They're not sprouted yet. So yeah, I bought some more asparagus in packets, like as a bare root. So I think once the broad beans are done, if that's asparagus, then I'll just... Oh, there's a lovely little robin. I'll not swizz you around so you can see it, but I'll try and get him in a minute. I'll talk faster. When the broad beans are done, I'll just put more asparagus in that bed, and then that bed will be all asparagus. Oh, where is it? I'll see if I can get him. No, he's near my bike over there somewhere. I've lost him now. Right, anyway, these are the... So those three have all got what looks like an asparagus root in them. This one, I think it's got 3 or 4. Where do you look now? Slugs. Do one. See? They look like asparagus roots to me. And the roots look healthy to me, but if anybody disagrees, then tell me. There's no signs of life from them yet. The reason I'm doubting myself that it is asparagus though is that these shoots look a bit grassy, and I thought they don't throw off so many shoots or so spindly like that. It'll be a nice surprise if they are, but I'm just going to put it back in the pot and see what happens. There was a bit that looked like it would be a little asparagus shoot though, just there. So I'm going to put them somewhere in the shade, or out of direct sunlight anyway. Give them a little bit of a water. There's 9 cuttings there. If they don't take, like I said, I've not lost anything. If I just get one, I'll be happy because it's a free plant. And these that I think could be asparagus, I'm going to put somewhere a bit more in the sun, I think. See this here? Let's have a look at the roots on this. Looks like it's got some healthy root, but that could just be from weeds. This was an apricot that also got dumped. You can tell it's been dumped in a wheelbarrow. Look, it's all rusty. Got rust all over it. And this as well. Now this, I think, it was either my honeyberry or a goji berry. I think that's probably gone as well. Yeah. Does that not look hopeful? I'll still give it a chance. Everything can always go in the last chance saloon. I'll just leave it there. There's my spur covers for the mini greenhouse at home. I've decided not to put that over the sweet corn. I thought it might be a bit too much if it gets a really hot day like we've had over the last week. A couple of days have been really hot. They're better just getting used to the weather now, aren't they, like it is, so yeah. I was going to bring the little hacksaw as well and saw those poles down on the gazebo, but I forgot. So I wasn't intending to do much today anyway. So oh, Connor's back from playing with his friend, so just in time to go home actually. So that's it for today, and I'll be back on Saturday I think. That over there wasn't my honeyberry. I found my honeyberry. I remember buying it in this little pot and I never planted it out, so yeah, you can tell with its little tiny flowers that's what it is. I used to have one in the back garden and it was really straggly, because I bought it thinking it's just a honeysuckle, and it did get little tiny blueberries on it, but I thought it's not a pretty honeysuckle that, so I wanted rid. I didn't know you could eat the berries, so I don't know what I did with that one. I think I just dug it out and chucked it, but now that I know you can eat the berries and they're really good for you, I bought another one last year, and then last year kind of went all so I'm going to plant it here. I'm going to keep trimming it. I'm not going to let it get like I did at home. I'm going to put it in the corner of the fruit bushes section, I think. I can't plant it where I wanted to after all, because there's a little gooseberry over there. It had fallen over and I've just stood on it. Hopefully, see, he's trying to tip. I must have planted him really shallow and he keeps trying to tip up. So I don't know where to put the honeyberry after all. Oh, I might leave it for today. So at least it's in a bigger pot for now. I'm just not ready to plant them. I may put them down this bottom end near the greenhouse. Because of the nature of the plant, I just want them out towards the back of somewhere. Oh, as well, I forgot. I did buy, and I hadn't seen one of these before, from Wilco's. I've never heard of it. And aronia, and the berries on it apparently have even more vitamin C, is it, than blueberries, or antioxidants they have, even more than blueberries, so that's a good thing. It says it grows between 5 and 8 feet, so again another one for the back of somewhere out of the way. But that's new to me, I hadn't heard of one before. So hopefully I'll not forget it's there. So it's Saturday and I'm back here. It's quite a muggy day today. It's been raining on and off and it's really hot. There's nobody else here. I think the rain's put them off. But I thought I'm coming anyway because I've got a lot to do really. I've probably given myself too much to do. and I'm just going to see what I get done. So first of all, I've got some foxgloves from my back garden, which didn't fit in with what I wanted, so I thought I'll transplant them to here, just over there under the tree where it's going to be shady. It'll just provide something else for the bees. Just brought a couple more bottles to try the self-watering system. The one that I put in the sweet corn the other day, the lid was on a little bit too tight, so the water hasn't gone down. I did bring my marker pen to mark how much it's losing, but I can tell it hadn't lost any, so I've taken it out and just unscrewed it a little bit more. I should have brought something to punch holes in really, but I forgot that again. But I have remembered today my little hacksaw and my ladders to cut those poles down on the old gazebo, and I'll try and get that up today. I wanted to clear a little bit more down near towards the greenhouse, and I brought the lettuce from home that really needs planting out, so I brought that. I'm going to try and get that out in the ground today. I brought some more lettuce seeds. One of them, I think the Paris Island cos that I didn't have good germination from. I read the back of the packet and it was best before 2022, so that's probably why I didn't get many. I think I got 1 or 2 of those, but I might as well sprinkle them and see if I get any more of those. And I've got 2 different kinds as well with me. And the things that were already up here, I need to try and get them in as well, perhaps. What else? We've had another delivery of wood chips, so really I wanted to just freshen up my paths if possible before it all disappears. Not that anybody's selfish on here, they always bear in mind, you know, to share, so yeah, I felt like I had more than that, but I'm probably forgetting something. I'll remember in a minute. I know they self-seed like crazy and I might regret that, but they're really easy to pull up, so I don't mind that. This will just be part of my weeding routine. I think this one has white flowers, but obviously they might be a cross, so they might be like a white with bits of pink in. But the original seeds, the packet of seeds were the white Alba variety. Bet I'm as red as a beetroot, aren't I? So it's not the relaxing time that I was planning on, but I feel okay now, so if I feel okay I'll get stuck in, you know. So I've dug this bed over and removed as much of the brick as I can. So as you can see, my plot's like this all over. There's a lot of bits of broken brick, bits of motorbike. I've even found part of a car dashboard on my plot in the soil before. Everybody's plot on here has been the same really. You know, they've all worked really hard. I think it's been a builder's yard at one point, and then it was some kind of allotment at some point many years ago, and then I think it's got really abandoned, and well, this is the state it's in. So everybody else had been on here 2 years before me, but they've shown me some really good before and after pictures. You know, they've worked really hard. Okay, so the path originally was going to come all the way down to the greenhouse, but I've decided against that because for me growing space is really important. It's more important than being able to walk around comfortably and easily. So I decided I'll stop the path there, you know, so at least I can get to most of the fruit. I'll probably, when I do the cage, have it so that I can get in over there. That side, I don't know whether to just stop there. I'm going to stop there for now because I wanted a nice amount of space that's just wood chipped in front of the greenhouse. But as I said, if I run out of room, paths may disappear. I brought one pumpkin charmanter plant, brought him with me, and I've given him the self-watering bottle. I've pulled some of my radishes out from the self-sown ones over there, just to make more room because they're all squashed in together. Like I said, they just self-seeded. So some of them are a little bit little, but they'll all still be tasty. They're actually pushing themselves out of the ground, some of them. So I didn't get around to cutting those poles. Andy came and picked me up, but we're going to try and pop up on maybe Monday. Andy says it's going to rain, but if we get a chance we'll pop up and do them then, because we don't really want to leave the ladders up there. We use the ladders a lot at home. So anyway, I brought the radishes home with me. We're going to have those with sliced in some chicken wraps tonight. We'll enjoy those. Aren't they beautiful? I like these ones in particular, they're really pretty. So that's all for today's vlog, the vlog of what I've done this week. I always tend to end it on a Saturday and it gets uploaded hopefully by Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you to all those that have subscribed already. I really do appreciate